Today we're digging into a behavior that almost everyone has run into. I'm going to walk you through 10 subtle signs of passive-aggressive behavior. Think of it like a quiz. Keep track of how many you spot in others and how many might feel uncomfortably familiar. And towards the end, I'll also share how to break the cycle, because passive aggression might seem harmless on the surface, but it can quietly erode trust, connection, and even your confidence. Let's start with the first sign. Do you ever say "I'm fine" while seething inside? This is one of the most common passive-aggressive moves. Instead of expressing frustration directly, we shut down or use a flat "I'm fine" as a shield. The problem is that your partner, friend, or coworker can feel the tension, but they're left guessing what's actually wrong. That guessing game creates confusion and mistrust. Instead, we can try saying, "I'm not ready to talk about this yet, but I'll let you know when I am." That's still protecting your peace without punishing the other person. Sign number 2, the silent treatment. Have you ever iced someone out until they broke the silence first? On the surface, this looks like withdrawal. Underneath, it's punishment. You're communicating, "You messed up, now suffer until I forgive you." Research by Dr. John Gottman shows that this kind of stonewalling is one of the biggest predictors of relationship breakdown, so it's definitely something we need to keep an eye on. Instead, if you need space, be explicit. "I need 30 minutes to cool off, and then I'll come back and we can talk." That's a boundary, not using silence as a weapon. Sign number 3, backhanded compliments, or what I like to call complisalts. Have you ever said something like, "Wow, you actually look nice today"? It's technically a compliment, but the hidden jab lands harder than the praise itself. These subtle digs undermine confidence while giving you the cover to say, "I was just kidding." Instead, if you're feeling jealous or irritated, name your feeling. Instead of masking it, try, "I'm having a hard time today, and seeing you succeed makes me feel like I'm behind." Vulnerable? Sure, but honest, and honesty builds connection. Sign number 4, convenient forgetfulness. Do you ever forget things you don't really want to do? Skipping out on commitments by playing absent-minded might feel like avoiding conflict, but over time, what it does is it tells people, "Your priorities don't matter to me." Instead, if you don't want to do something, be direct. "I don't have the bandwidth for that right now." People might not love hearing no, but they'll respect your honesty more than excuses. And then you get to show up for the things you really want. Sign number 5, procrastination as protest. Do you ever put off tasks as a way to get back at someone, like dragging your feet on chores after a fight? Procrastination can become a form of silent rebellion. Instead of saying, "I'm upset with you," you let your actions, or lack of them, speak. The catch? The conflict still festers. Instead, if you feel resentful about what's being asked, speak up. You might say, "I'm okay helping with this task, but I'd like us to talk about how the responsibilities around the house are split up." Sign number 6, chronic lateness. Be honest. Are you the "I'll be there in 5 minutes" person who's still at home? Sometimes lateness is just bad time management, but when it's habitual, especially with the same people, it sends a message. My time matters more than yours. Instead, if you find yourself dragging your feet because you don't want to go, notice that. Instead of showing up late as protest, try declining the invite. Maybe you don't like spending time with that person or doing that specific thing. Being direct and honest saves our relationships from resentment. Sign number 7, playing the victim. When you get called out, do you flip the script and make yourself the injured party? Or do you know someone who does this? For example, let's say your partner asks why you didn't follow through. And instead of owning it, you say, "Well, I've just been so stressed. You don't even notice how hard it's been for me or how hard I'm working." Suddenly, the attention shifts away from accountability and onto your suffering. Instead, we can try to practice accountability, saying something like, "You're right, I didn't follow through. I'll work on doing better." Owning mistakes builds more respect than deflecting blame. Sign number 8, sarcasm disguised as honesty. Do you ever deliver criticism with "just kidding" at the end, Like, I just love it when you only think of yourself and don't think of me. Just kidding. Sarcasm is often used to say what you really mean without committing to it. But the damage still lands, while you feel like you stay shielded from responsibility. Instead of hiding behind humor, practice direct statements. Are you getting the trend here? Directness is helpful. For example, I feel frustrated when you don't consider me, or I feel hurt, right? Humor has its place in our life, but not when it's used to dodge emotional honesty. Sign number 9, withholding support. Do you ever hold back encouragement or effort because you're secretly resentful? Maybe your friend launches a project and instead of supporting them, you stay quiet. Or your partner asks for help and you deliberately forget to show up. This passive withdrawal chips away at trust faster than open conflict ever could. Instead, notice the resentment and bring it to the surface. I feel overlooked when you don't ask about my projects. I think that's why I'm holding back right now. Expressing the root feeling helps repair the relationship instead of sabotaging it. Sign number 10, saying yes when you mean no. Also guilty of this one. How often do you agree to something and then resent it the whole time? This is a classic passive-aggressive setup. You avoid the discomfort of saying no, but then punish the other person through sighs, delays, or lack of enthusiasm. Instead, give yourself permission to decline. A respectful no, I appreciate you asking, but I can't take that on right now, is far less damaging than a fake yes that turns into sabotage. So, how'd you score? If you saw yourself in a couple of these signs, don't panic. Most of us, myself included, use passive aggression sometimes. I have to be honest, I personally say I'm fine when I most definitely am not, and I've been known to dish out the silent treatment from time to time. Sorry, Sean. If you checked off several on the list, this may be your go-to defense mechanism. The good news is, don't worry, there's good news. Awareness means you can change it, which moves us right into how to stop being passive-aggressive. So what happens if you realize that some of these signs sound a little too familiar? Don't panic. It doesn't mean you're doomed to be the toxic one in every relationship. Passive aggression is a defense mechanism, and like any habit, it can be unlearned. The first step is simply noticing it. Next time you catch yourself shutting down with a "I'm fine" or dragging your feet on a task, pause and check in with yourself. What am I really feeling right now? Why am I holding it back instead of saying it out loud? That awareness alone can shift everything. From there, it's about learning to lean into honesty. And yes, honesty can feel uncomfortable, but conflict isn't the enemy here. Conflict can actually be healthy when it clears the air. What's dangerous is the dishonesty that eats away at connection in the long run. So instead of slipping into sarcasm or silence, try to say it directly, even if it's messy at first. Like, I feel hurt by that comment, or I need some space right now, is so much more powerful than leaving someone guessing. And if you're someone who always says yes but secretly resents it, try giving yourself permission to say no. A clean, respectful no will protect your relationships far better than a resentful yes. The truth is, passive aggression often comes out of fear of conflict, fear of rejection. But the more you practice clarity, the more your relationships will grow in trust and resilience. How many of these signs did you recognize in yourself or others? Drop your number in the comments. I'm curious to see where most people land. If this video opened your eyes, hit that like button and share it with a friend who might need the reality check. And subscribe for more videos that could help you understand yourself and your relationships better. And remember, every time you choose clarity over covert hostility, you take back your power. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you next time.